Once upon a time in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria, the city, being a hub of commerce and culture, was alive with activities. Among the city's bustling streets was Sade, a vibrant young Yoruba lady in her early 20s. She was on her way to her sister Rolake's house as she was moving into her elder sister's home. Rolake was married to Ade Oladipupo, a decent man in his late 30s, known for his strict yet loving mien. They had 2 children, and their home was a sanctuary of love, order, and discipline. Sade was warmly welcomed by Rolake, who had been a mother figure to her since the demise of their parents. Ade, although polite, maintained a certain distance, making it clear that he expected the rules of his house to be followed by everyone, including Sade. A few weeks after Sade's arrival at the Oladipupos, Ade had a strange dream, which he disregarded as inconsequential. He neither discussed it with his wife nor prayed against it. Ade's strict nature began to irk Sade as she struggled to keep up with his rules. He emphasized punctuality, curfews, responsibilities, attendance at the family devotion, and church meetings, which Sade found stifling. Her resentment towards Ade grew by leaps and bounds, especially after he sternly reprimanded her for staying out late with friends. Ade wasn't ready to bend his rules to accommodate Sade's excesses, as he wouldn't want to confuse his children with a double standard. Neither was Sade ready to live by his rules. As a result, Ade, for the first time in years, and his wife Rolake had a heated argument following Sade's refusal to attend church service on a particular Sunday for no good reason. Why are you being biased here? Is it because she's your sister? Tell me, didn't we both agree never to keep anyone who isn't ready to serve our God under our roof? Ade asked Rolake, trying to suppress the anger building up in him. I must confess to you that I don't like the way tension seems to have taken over in this home since Sade's arrival, Ade frankly said as he moved to take a stroll, since Rolake had decided to give him the silent treatment. In defiance of Ade's rules, Sade spent more time out with her boyfriend Jide, whom she met and fell in love with some months after she moved in with the Oladipupos. Jide was a charming, confident young man with dreams of making it big in life. One fateful night, after frolicking at a club, their relationship became passionate. Ade was driving home one evening when a particular scripture popped up in his spirit. And a man's enemies shall be they of his own household. He repeated it 3 times and packed to check it out on the Bible app on his phone, as the scripture wouldn't leave his mind. Ade found it in the book of Matthew, and seeing that it was making reference to household persecution or the account of the gospel, he closed the Bible app and pushed the scripture to the recess of his soul, thinking he would use it to encourage members of his Bible study later in the week. It was with mixed feelings that Sade stared at the positive pregnancy test. She immediately confided in Jide, who allayed her fears, telling her to come over to his house later in the day. On getting to Jide's apartment, he gave her all the encouragement she needed to keep the pregnancy. I don't know what you feel for me, but what I feel for you is deep here, touching the part of his chest. Sade, I'm not here to play games with you. I want you for the keeps. It's a forever deal I'm seeing with you. And I think this baby on the way will help us hasten and put things in proper perspectives, he explained. Jide went ahead to inform Sade of his plans to travel abroad in search of greener pastures, with a solemn promise to come back for her and their baby in no distant time. A revelation which led to another session of endless tears. Terrified of her sisters and Ade's reaction, Sade hatched a cruel plan. Her resentment towards Ade fueled her decision to accuse him of impregnating her. She believed that she would shatter his control over the household. In a dramatic confrontation, Sade tearfully accused Ade of being the father of her unborn child. Rolake was devastated as she had come to trust her husband, Ade, with every atom of her being. Ade vehemently denied the accusation, but Rolake, blinded by anger and hurt, refused to listen. The extended family was thrown into turmoil, and Ade was ostracized. Despite Ade's protests and pleas, Rolake proceeded to serve him divorce papers, a move which was supported by the entire extended family, convinced by Sade's lies. Ade, broken and humiliated, left the home he built since the woman with whom he had built a life was unwilling to continue doing life with him. He took to fervent prayers and fasts, asking God to light his candle and enlighten the darkness surrounding his marriage. Sade gave birth to a baby boy named Olumide. Life appeared to have moved on, but Rolake kept struggling as a single mother. This made guilt gnaw at Sade, and her resentment towards Ade turned into a haunting reminder of her deceit. Years passed, and Jide returned from abroad, successful and ready to take Sade and their child back with him. Sade couldn't wait to enjoy all the goodies doing life with Jide would bring to her, as he was super loving and doting the few weeks they spent together at his return. However, legal procedures required the child's documents to bear his father's last name. Rolake stumbled on Olumide's passport and other documents, and she noticed that they bore a different name from her maiden and husband's last names. Curious for an explanation, Rolake confronted Sade, forcing her to revisit her past. Sade confessed the truth to Rolake and the family, revealing that Jide was the real father of Olumide. The family was shocked and enraged by her betrayal. Rolake was beyond broken, realizing she destroyed her marriage for a lie. At that instant, she understood the weight of the suggestion of one of her prayer partners to always pray to be spirit-led at all times, so as not to judge after the sight of one's eyes and the hearing of one's ears. Rolake and the extended family met with Ade to apologize and beg for forgiveness. Ade listened but remained distant. His life had been shattered and rebuilding trust seemed impossible. Ademi, Saying sorry isn't enough to clear this mess. I messed up big time because instead of being patient, I behaved like a fool. Like a fool, I made great mistakes through hasty anger, she pleaded. Jide, upon learning the full extent of Sade's deceit, vowed not to marry her. He loved his child but couldn't overlook her dark heart and the chaos she had caused. He therefore decided to collect his son, Olumide, from Sade despite her pleas. The family disowned Sade, unable to forgive her for the pain she had caused. Rolake and Ade's relationship remained strained as she continued to pray, asking God, in whose hand the heart of kings are, to soften his heart towards her. Sade was left alone, shunned by her family and abandoned by Jide. She must then face the consequences of her actions alone. Rolake and Ade slowly began to rebuild their lives. They were scarred but hopeful, learning to trust again and finding solace in each other and their children. As a couple, they took it a step at a time, trusting the God of new beginnings to heal their wounds, make them forget the things of the past by doing a new thing in their union. Sade began to reflect on her choices and the pain she had caused her family. She resolved to change, hoping that one day she would earn her family's forgiveness and find redemption. Have you learned one or two lessons from this story? Don't hesitate to share them in the comment section.